come home to co-create Pakistan's future through knowledge, innovation, and collaboration. Let me first congratulate each of you for being selected to participate in this 6-week internship program out of a very competitive group of over 2,000 applicants. And I can very confidently say that it was not easy for us to select a cohort or group of 31 successful candidates out of this 2,000 applicants who were all outstanding in their own merit. So the ones who have not been selected, I would say that they can just say that it was a human error that they got dropped. Otherwise, they also had a very strong merit. You represent the intellectual cream of our nation's youth. And this initiative reflects our firm belief that the future of Pakistan must be co-authored by our local and global talent. We are living in a moment of both profound change and historic opportunity. Pakistan, like other countries, faces economic, environmental, geopolitical, and institutional headwinds. But we also stand at the edge of transformation if we are bold, strategic, and inclusive. And for you, I must also share an overview of our development journey, because you are all very young, and these days they don't teach a lot of history in A-level and O-level curriculums. Pakistan, which was created with great struggle and sacrifices in 1947, was well on way to become a rising star in Asia. In 1960s, it was said that Pakistan could well be the next Japan of Asia. But then, after 1965 war, because of the political shock of the war, we got derailed. And as a result, we lost track of that development journey that we had started. The second great moment came in 1991, when then Prime Minister Mr. Nawaz Sharif introduced economic reforms in Pakistan which were not known in South Asia. Privatization of state enterprises, liberalizing the economy, opening up of the economy, making policies to encourage private sector. But unfortunately, after 2 years, that government was dismissed, and so were those policies also thrown into the trash can. But India, which borrowed those policies at that time, late Mr. Sartaj Aziz was our finance minister, and Mr. Manmohan Singh was India's finance minister. So Mr. Manmohan Singh asked Mr. Sartaj Aziz that our businessmen are demanding the same policies in India which you have introduced in Pakistan. So would you be kind to share the SROs and the copies of the notifications, which he shared with him. As a result, India introduced the same policies after in their country, but they continued with those policies for a decade. As a result, by 2000, India overtook Pakistan in economic development, which had lagged behind Pakistan historically for more than 50 years. The third moment came when in 2013, we again started our journey under Vision 2025. I'm not sure how many of you will remember In 2013, we did not have electricity for almost whole day, 16 to 18 hours, there used to be load shedding. UPS generators which people installed in their homes would not get enough electricity to recharge the batteries. As a result, people resorted to candles and lanterns to get light, and there was a headline in one of the newspapers that Pakistan is back in Stone Ages, because in Stone Age people used to get light by lighting the fire. That was also the time that Newsweek had put Pakistan as the most dangerous country in the world because of the law and order and terrorism that was prevalent at that time. Not a day or two would pass when there would not be a suicide bomber in any part of the country, killing himself and also killing dozens of innocent Pakistanis. Karachi, which is our financial capital, had reached a point that any person who left his home in the morning, his wife, mother or daughter would sit on the prayer rack and pray for the safe return of her father, spouse or brother in the evening. And Karachi was almost unlivable. On any day, if we had in the news that today there were single digit killings in Karachi, people would take sigh of relief that today was a peaceful day. Otherwise, dozens of people used to get killed in terrorism, in other criminal actions in Karachi. So that was the kind of Pakistan that we inherited in 2013, and at that time we set our direction and our eyes on a new future, and we crafted Vision 2025 with the help of the top minds of the country. And this vision set that goal that by 2025 we will be, inshallah, in the top 25 economies of the world. We were fortunate because we were sincere. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped us with many new initiatives, one of which was China-Pakistan Economic Corridor that brought in almost more than $25 billion of investment into Pakistan, helping us overcome the energy crisis as well as building some modern infrastructure in the country. And result was that in 2017, PricewaterhouseCoopers released a study saying that if Pakistan continues on this trajectory, by 2030 it would be in the top 20 economies of the world. What did that mean? It meant that if we had continued that trajectory, by 2030 we would be part of G20, and by 2025 we would be in the top 25 economies. At that time 2025 looked far distant, but 2025 is here. So in 2018, unfortunately, there was a regime change in the country which was brought by that establishment at that time. Few judges and generals were part of that conspiracy. Well, such things happen in the country or other countries also, but regime change should not necessarily mean that you also reverse all those policies that were working for the country. But the new regime that came, it reversed all policies, and the first and the foremost victim of that reversal was China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. All those Chinese investors who had come here, they were forced to leave, and the flocks of investment which were landing in Pakistan went to Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia and other countries, and we lost that great opportunity. For 4 years, we did not have any alternate plan. Vision 2025 was put in cold storage. The only narrative for 4 years nation could hear was that everyone not with the government was chore and daku. And I also was labeled as one of the dakus and put in the jail, in a Diyala jail, for constructing a sports complex in my district. Unfortunately, as a result of that victimization that was carried out, the whole government machinery stopped working. In this very ministry, which I left in 2018, officers were called to NAB headquarters and pressurized that you must give statement against the minister, otherwise we'll put you in jail. So that harassment and victimization took away any initiative that government officials had to make decisions. So for almost 4 years, it was no decision in any department. Files would move around and no one would like to put their signature on even a decision of 10 rupees anywhere. So, it is good to have a bad decision than to have no decision, because you can always correct a bad decision, but you cannot do anything with no decision. So indecision eats the whole system like cancer. So that is what we suffered.